Can one visit reveal both power of a diaspora and fault lines of the nation's immigration debate? Well, this is a larger question that is hanging over Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his visit to Australia, where he experienced to receive a massive welcome from the Indian community, while protests against Indian migration was also being planned outside Melbourne's Marvel Stadium. The contrast is striking. Inside the stadium, tens of thousands of Indian Australians are expected to gather for Melbourne Meet Modi, an event outside, and then anti migration groups linked to the March of Australia outside. Now, this movement is seeking to make a position as heard. But this is not just about one protest. It is more about migration, identity, political influence, and being debate in modern Australia. People with Indian roots now make up more than 5% of Australia's population, and the Indian born community is one of the fastest growing migrant groups. And that group has strengthened Australia, its multicultural landscape, but also becomes a focal point of group calling the lower immigration levels. And yet, the same time, India and Australia are deepening strategic and economic ties. PM Modi is set to hold a talk with Prime Minister of Australia at the Australia-Indian Annual Lead Summit in Melbourne, where the defence cooperation, critical minerals, trades, and energy securities are expected to dominate the discussions. Now, this is a visit with significant geopolitical weight. Australia's reserves of lithium and uranium are increasingly important for India's clean energy as well as the nuclear ambition. Both countries to share concerns about China's growing influence in the Indo-Pacific and work together through the Quad outside as well as alongside the United States and Japan. However, the planned protest adds another layer to the visit. Social media accounts linked to the anti-migration activism have been mobilizing supporters, with organizers calling for a peaceful but vocal demonstrations near the community event. Supporters of the protest argue that opposing what they see as an excessive migration and foreign influence in the domestic politics. Now, critics, however, point out the previous March for Australia rallies that were widely dividend, that were diverse and associated with only the Indian origin rhetoric. And then that changed everything. Modi's visit is no longer just diplomatic engagement or a country celebration. It has become a moment where questions about migration, Indian diaspora, its influence, and national identity, and along with bilateral strategy, all are converging in one city. And as Melbourne prepares both celebration and protest, the world will be watching if only the summit between the leaders, but also the broader debating that is unfolding on the streets of Australia.